Oh, fuck rotate device.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Before we officially start, let me just get the link and post it. Share to Facebook. Post.
All right.
And share it to the brother. Shared.
All right.
And now let's officially start this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Malique, it's Malique. And this is Unique Talk with Malique. And it's been a long time. I've been planning to do this for a while, and I thought of one guest I would love to bring on before, bringing back the series of the new year. The current Real Talk Wrestling Podcast World Heavyweight Champion, the current 1/7 of the Real Talk World Tag Team Champions, and he went to New Japan, the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and he's defending his title on NXT as Mr. NXT. So this man is, 5 times champion?
I'm like carrying, I know my other 2 belts are not here right now, but a man can only carry so much on his shoulders. But right now, currently, I hold 6 belts.
Oh, my apologies, man.
Dude.
This guy is amazing. And by the way, Unique Talk with Malique is sponsored by Taco Bell. That nachos fries were delicious.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so Taco Bell.
Live by the bum.
Yeah. So Taco Bell, if you're watching this video, pay me. I'm sponsoring you. I don't even eat Taco Bell like that. But this is Unique Talk with Malique. This is where we get outside of the characters. We talk more about us, and you get to know us better.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to know EnigMa, or should I say, Jimmy P. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
And before we do anything, the number one question we have to ask that the fans been demanding: why is the Leviathan Larry so big? That's what we all want to know. Why is it so big?
Is this gonna be like the inside joke with like Batista's dick on WWE?
I mean, why is the Leviathan? I mean, this is your first episode. Why we gotta start off big? Why is the Leviathan Larry so damn big?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really a religious man, so I'm not gonna say like God gave me it and I signed for it. But I mean, it's kind of there. Kind of fed it. I fed it well. It grew over the years, so I mean, yeah. Beat that.
Or Enzo, you can't teach that. But back to this. Let's get some serious. This is Unique Talk with Malique. I'm gonna ask you some questions. Not too hard hitting, but we gotta get to know you better, get to know the real Jimmy Gonzalez, the real EnigMa, So outside of that, let's introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and so people know you're related to a certain WWE superstar. Tell them about, your childhood, your brother, let's know the real EnigMa.
All right. I mean, my name is Jimmy Paul Gonzalez. I'm from. My bad. We're live, pal. We're live.
Hey, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
Yeah.
Don't be 100. Just love you, buddy.
I'm from New York City, New York. Don't really say what part because I consider the whole New York my home. 19 now, living the life, carrying multiple championships. We're technically considered indie, so I mean.
Yeah. Indie Mark.
But I mean, you guys know me as EnigMa inside the podcast, and it's I'm not gonna get too hard hitting because we got another show for you guys later today where
spoilers,
more hard hitting questions are gonna arise and little controversy. But I guess you guys do know me as brother of Mr. Film Flash, Mr. Mega TJP at Instagram, at Twitter, and I mean, living my life the way it is. I mean, I didn't really come to know wrestling thanks to him. It was just more like, I guess, sounds funny, but like most people come around wrestling, you're flicking through channels one day, you just look at it, you're like, oh shit, this is fucking cool. Let me just, is this like on like every day or something? Like, it wasn't on, but then, the first episode that I saw was SmackDown.
Really?
And it was on Friday nights. So I
You mind we ask what was, if you remember, can recall
the
what
first
was-
match that I saw,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
the main event on SmackDown. It was just like the last 30 minutes of it. It was Edge defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Batista and Undertaker on SmackDown. I recall.
Good rivalry.
Good rivalry. Great three-way rivalry.
Oh, yeah,
it was
yeah,
really
yeah.
great.
Love how Edge inserted him in a Hell in a Cell match at I think Survivor Series.
Chamber.
Oh no!
No! Inside Survivor.
When he was the
Yeah,
cameraman.
Yeah.
Edge was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, that was great. Yeah. He came back into the ring, and then the Undertaker was trying to sit up, and he just smacked him in the face with the damn chair. That shit was great.
It was.
But yeah, no. So I came on next Tuesday as a kid and saw that I was on. I was like, oh shit, man, this shit's amazing. But then a little thing, I was just like, oh, one time I was at my aunt's house and it was Sunday, and I was flicking through the channels, and on a Spanish channel known as Telemundo, as you guys know, or Mundos.
Pay me. We're supporting you. Pay me.
They used to play Raw on a rerun so they used to, Raw was on Monday, and then on Sunday they would give it on Telemundo and Mundos. So that's where I was like, oh shit, is this the same company? Like, I didn't know. I was a kid. I was just like, oh shit, this shit's amazing. SmackDown, now Raw.
That's probably where Johnny Muno got his name from.
Yeah, it made me want to go all the way to my aunt's house every fucking Sunday just to watch I didn't have cable. I just had antenna. And that was when fucking SmackDown was on My 9. Or my whatever it is in Charlotte.
The dark days.
The dark days. And then it moved over to CW. Oh yeah, I still have the magazines.
Oh god.
I really do. I'll show you when I get back home, bro. I got WWE magazines for days. But
I used to collect those when I was a kid.
Oh, fucking same.
It was good.
Oh, fucking
I love looking at the pictures and
the
then,
bikini photo shoots for
bro,
the but
I just take it.
That enhanced Larry, by the way. Yes, it did.
When I was a kid, I used to see the band like, yeah, just let me rip that out, put it on.
Yeah.
Motivation.
Yeah, that was basically my childhood, and it wasn't until TJ actually came to live with us for a few up in New York, because he tried to get his run. That's where he got his shot at Evolve Wrestling. And that's when him and my mother kind of got distanced apart, because she's not his mother, but still
You're
shared
still
a
family.
relation. Yeah, so yeah, and then I kind of decided to kind of become wrestling or do something with wrestling, and that's when I joined Brooklyn Teen Wrestling back in New York, BTW.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because my next question was you actually do wrestle like your brother, so I'm glad you mentioned that. So now tell us more about it. Were you ever a world champion?
Yes, I was actually. I was Brooklyn Teen Wrestling. It was like the mid-card championship, so they called it more like
the television title?
No, it had a funny name. I kind of don't want to say because it was like really underground, but it was called like the Brooklyn Gang Wrestling Champion. It was really underground, as far as underground as you can think of. But I guess every kid in Brooklyn, especially, everybody dreamed about being like a fucking gang member when they grew up for some fucking reason. But I did became a champion eventually. After losing the championship, after a few months afterwards, I did win the world championship for BTW. Took that. I had to move. Came to Charlotte, and then I joined Omega Championship Wrestling for Matt and Jeff Hardy.
I think I heard about it.
Omega.
I think I heard about it. I'm not too sure. We got some special guests coming, so
Yeah. If you guys hear background noise, don't.
No, they love seeing a champion.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Too many fans.
Too many fangirls too.
Yeah.
He's taken.
But so I came down here. It's a company that Jeff and Matt Hardy created a long time ago. I did work 2 matches for them up in Cameron, North Carolina. Had a good experience. That's where I got to meet Jeff again. Matt Hardy wasn't there. He was recovering from an injury, so I didn't get to see Matt. That's still a person I would love to meet one day. Met his father not too long ago at my job. So.
But you met Jeff?
Yeah, I met Jeff on
was
several
this
occasions.
before? It was this. Well, it's probably obviously was before. This was before he got clean on that.
Yeah, it was when he was a lot of fun. No, I'm joking. No, I met Jeff on like probably 3 occasions in my lifetime. I met him backstage at TNA when my brother took me. Then I met him again backstage TNA on Bound for Glory when they came here to Charlotte for Bound for Glory. And yeah, I met him at Omega. I wanted to have a match with him. You know, fighting your idol, but you know what they said, never meet your idols. In the wrestling world, never fight your idols.
Yeah.
Probably would have taken a swanton to the fucking chest. That would have hurt. Yeah, and then I got another small opportunity to wrestle for PWX. I think that's the name that they're going by now.
The one that usually comes to Charlotte once in a while.
That's the one that comes to Charlotte like every fucking day. Yeah, I had a chance to wrestle for them. That's where I was gonna get a huge title push towards.
Oh, this is when you told me about the concussion. The code breaker.
Yeah. I'll leave that for talking real talk, injury wise, but just won a mid-card championship there. I lost it the next day due to storyline reasons, and that was pretty much my wrestling career so far.
Well, on to the wrestling career. Just let's hold on to it just a little bit. Are you retired wrestler, or are we ever going to see EnigMa in a square circle again? Probably. So you're not retired?
No.
All right. So the future's still young. You're still 19. So.
I mean, 3 concussions. I mean, hopefully my physicals come back well. I can get cleared. No, don't treat me like Daniel Bryan. I'm not. I'll go around the world and try to get cleared. Trust me. But yeah, eventually, hopefully, when I get some more free time and not have to worry about bills so much and stuff, I'll probably get back into the squared circle.
Oh, that's good to hear. Now, a question. When I first did the Unique Talk with Malique, I asked this with Sean. Do you remember the first time we met? So I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Do you remember the first time we met?
Oh fuck yeah! I still have videos about the first time we met. I remember because we met at a fucking party at a party at Jacob's house.
Oh yeah.
This man, along with Luigi and Dante, were butt drunk with their shirts off. Imagine this man right here, but without that. Like him, Luigi, and our boy Dante, all fucking without shirtless, playing beer pong and fucking hugging each other every fucking 5 seconds. Yeah, it was really freaking amazing. He passing out on the TV, watching I think it was like Batman gameplay or some shit or whatever.
I was watching the Batman movie.
This fucking alarm going off continuously for like 2 hours, and nobody was waking up because everybody was dumb hammered. Yeah, really good times. That's how I remember the first time with hanging out with this guy, hitting on Natalia.
Oh God! Please, I know this is a unique topic. Please don't bring that to the table. Say that for the hard-hitting questions. But I remember we was talking about it because Luigi told me about you that you were into wrestling, that you were related to TJP, and then you wanted to join the Real Talk crew. So even though I was kind of in the drunken place, as Get Out would put it. I still wanted to talk to you about it. We kind of discussed it. You said just add me on Facebook, put you in the chat. How would you describe your experience so far in Real Talk? Have you been enjoying it?
I mean, I've wrestled. I mean, at first I was just like, you know, I'm not a sociable person, so that's why I didn't talk too much. Or I kind of just gimmick-wise, I knew kind of with what I wanted to run with. This is something that it's been running with my whole life. Few people I can't stand sometimes. Some people that I do admire. I'm not gonna say that now. Once again, we'll leave that for the hard hitting. But
so he doesn't like the prodigal son. He doesn't like losers.
But no. My experience was really good coming in. You know, getting straight to the point. I remember I had a catchphrase going on at the beginning that was like, you know, keep it short and sweet. That was my whole gimmick going forward. It was just like, I'm gonna keep everything short and sweet.
The outsider with all the insiders.
The outsider with all the insiders.
It's funny because, you know,
I'm more of an insider with all the outsiders now.
And, you know, just a fun thing about EnigMa. Oh, sorry, Jimmy. I'm used to we do these and call him EnigMa, but the fun thing about Jimmy is, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't really be looking outside of WWE. Jimmy's getting me out my shell, I'm looking at other promotions, you know, checking them out. I'm still trying to plan to watch Wrestle Kingdom, the full show, because I don't want to watch just one match and just call it a night, because I just feel like it would be insulting. So I'm going to actually try to look for the full live Wrestle Kingdom 12. So If it wasn't for Jimmy,
I mean, I think I still have NJPW World if you want to give it a shot.
I mean, hey, maybe before NXT, after NXT, we can watch that.
We can watch a little bit. We can save some for Sunday since we have nothing to do in the morning before the.
Oh yeah.
Fuck the pre-show.
But
I don't know why he likes to watch the pre-show, but yeah, I mean,
what is the pre-show? What just 2 hours of talking?
2 hours of talking and 3 matches.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespect the cruiserweights.
And
they
the
wonder
U.S.
why-
Championship. So
Oh.
I don't even know
Oh,
if
so-
Bobby's gonna be in the fucking Rumble now.
He has to be in the Rumble.
Hopefully, I mean Miz is. I know that much.
I mean, hey, Roman was in the Rumble and he lost the Universal title. So,
Yeah.
but
So-
then again, AJ didn't get his shot. But so I have to thank Jimmy for that. If it wasn't for him, I would be in the Wrestle Kingdom 12.
And actually, I don't know if you're gonna be able to make it, but you know the Ring of Honor's coming to
Charlotte.
Charlotte February 9th.
Very nice.
It's for
Is it for Friday?
it's Friday, yeah.
Friday. My dad's birthday's on Thursday. I'll see what I can do.
See if you can do. I mean, if
See if I can just take a day off Friday and then just we meet up somewhere.
yeah, cause I talked about our boy Alphonse. He said he was gonna go. So I mean, hey, Ring of Honor, Bullet Club,
Any marks?
Bullet Club.
One sweet.
One
It's
sweet.
one sweet.
2 seed actually.
Oh,
But
we're bringing it back now. But on a serious note,
actually, our boy Ruben is coming and he's bringing me my Cease and Desist T-shirt.
the big moist.
The big moist. But
It's the moist meets the big moist.
yeah, but yeah, pretty much my experience was really good. Coming in 2 pay-per-views later, defeating this man and John to become the ICP champion.
Which is point right there. I don't
Losing it over there, lost it 6 days afterwards.
'Cause of
Something that I don't want to get into.
Yeah,
I'm
we're-
really fucking pissed about that.
Yeah,
still.
we'll get to the whole reset on probably on the Talking Real because I know personally you hated the reset, but everyone has opinions and Talking Real Talk where it's
Fuck you, Sean.
God damn.
But yeah, pretty much really good. I mean, of course, it picked up after SummerSlam, being your Mr. Real Talk in the Bank, and especially going forward from there, I can add more accolades now as becoming both world champion. Actually, hold up, this is the Real Talk World Championship. Sorry, right here. This is something else. This is another podcast that I'm doing. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
No,
but I have to defend the belt.
You took their title, so
I took their title.
as long as they promote us, we're good.
So, but now doing a lot of things with it, spreading the word, opening our Instagram, our
Yeah,
Twitter,
we just-
our Snapchat.
It was because of Jimmy. I'm glad Jimmy mentioned it coming to my attention because we just had the Facebook page and we had YouTube, and network is the key. So I'm glad if it wasn't for Jimmy, I feel like we probably it would have been way too late. I'm glad we got it now. We just launched.
Even if we start off slow, it'll pick up eventually.
We got Real Talk Snapchat, Real Talk. We already had a Facebook. We have a Real Talk Instagram, and we got a Real Talk Twitter. So go follow that. And I will be making the Twitter for myself, so that way you get
And if
it.
you guys got any suggestions, any
Yeah. Like I said in the episode, leave us a comment, because we want us to do better. We want to entertain you. That's what we love to do.
And also, if you want to join, I mean, this amazing podcast,
Yes.
eventually, we have lots of things coming up.
Just add me on Facebook.
Add them on Facebook at
We'll
Malique
put you-
Davis. And
I'll put you in a little chat where people that are from the podcast I trust. We'll do, respectful interviews, get you in there. We'll talk about, basically like kind of what wrestling do. We talk to you, we'll set you up, give you a gimmick, and we're not going to really like feed you to the dogs. We're going to let you, like the first episode, you just do your introduction, and you just listen to how we do the promos. So that way the next episode, when it's time for we do the gimmicks, it's your time. It's your time to shine.
especially if you live in Charlotte, in the Charlotte area.
Oh yeah.
We're launching our new basically indie promotion called. I mean, because we have the Real Talk podcast, of course, but we're trying to launch eventually our Real Talk World Championship Wrestling promotion. See some comments flying in. What's up?
I have no idea. I couldn't even read that comment. Let me see that again. Let's see. I can pop it up. There we go. Yeah, show the comments. Okay, Malique, Jimmy, your camera is sideways. Nah, duh. Do you realize you were just talking to yourself, right? Is this Hunter? Soviet. Who is this? I don't know, Jimmy. You got some big fans, man.
I bring in the crowd.
Hey, man, better than Hunter does.
Ooh, but yeah, going along with that, I mean, we're launching Real Talk Wrestling, which is actually like our, you know how, what culture released WCPW. We're trying to work on a Real Talk Wrestling.
And since Jimmy's you know, he wrestles in his promotions, he's actually training us. If it wasn't for, like I said, if it wasn't for Jimmy, I feel like the Booty Dust and Jimmy feud would have been just a filler, because I don't know how, if Jimmy remembers the story, but Booty Dust was #1 contender for the world title, but he had to wait for Heat to get his rematch. Oh, dang, who's... Oh, gotta show. Hail to the Soviet Union, and then we walk. Then we will talk. The Soviet King.
Okay, I mean, if you want to join, that's your gimmick. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Message us at our new Gmail.
I mean, you say you're the king, but do you know the way?
Do you know the actual king?
Yeah, this is the king.
That's King EnigMa.
I guess he didn't watch the last episode because he doesn't know.
Yeah, but
our friendship's growing.
Yeah, so if you live in Charlotte and you're interested in wrestling and both actually creating real live promos like we're doing right now, Real Talk.
Oh, Ebola. Yeah, he knows the way.
Yeah. So hit us up at our Gmail, rtw.podcast@gmail.
And then the Facebook page, Real Talk Wrestling.
Yep. So I mean, we're live, pal. We're doing everything.
We're doing everything. We're doing live. I'm still trying to figure out how to do Real Talk live. That's the biggest dream. I wanted it for the year anniversary, but we tried to do how we do with the call. Then it got screeching noise.
We'll figure out eventually.
We tried Hangouts. Like I told them, I can't do Hangouts. It doesn't work for me. I tried it. Did not work. But
hopefully
soon.
Hopefully, eventually.
Because we still got John, Hunter, and Karen who live far from us. But I will, they should.
Eventually, if we have like a huge pay-per-view like Mania and they want to actually travel, we can actually, probably get this over with.
Yeah. Hopefully, the goal is to get Real Talk Live before Mania.
Yeah.
That'll be the dream goal.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much EnigMa. That's my story.
That's the EnigMa story. Not to just promote Real Talk, but I feel like you don't get a lot of credit for what you do in Real Talk. And I'm not trying to say that to stroke your ego or anything, but I always look at, even though I'm the owner, I look at it as like what Vince McMahon say, oh, he's just idiotic, but he's still trying to do what he does what's best for his company. And I'm trying to do what's best for Real Talk, and I try to look at Real Talk as a fan too. And I feel like people be saying that, oh, we're stroking each other's ego or we're just doing that. I honestly believe that what you've been doing is really supportive, and I love what you've been doing. I mean, you're the first person to defend the title outside the podcast, and I, even though that was risky, I trusted you. It fit your gimmick, and you trying to, and as long as it gave us word of Real Talk, I was happy with it. That's all that matters. And like I was trying to say with the Booty Dust, but I kind of stumbled with the comments. If it wasn't for you suggesting we do an actual match, I feel like the Booty Dust feud would have been not memorable. Because honestly, I feel like when I did the Booty Dust character, I always say that Maverick was, Booty Dust feuded with Mav, Youngblood, and you. Mm-hmm. I will say my favorite Booty Dust work was with Maverick, but I have in my heart that Booty Dust and EnigMa work well together due to the fact that me and you personally trust each other. We know what to do. We know how to, play it safe, and we know what's best for the podcast and what's best for each other. So the original plan for Booty Dust versus EnigMa, Booty Dust was #1 contender for the world title, but Javi had to get his rematch with Youngblood. So we talked about saying, hey, you need something to do because you're Real Talking to Bang. I need something to do to keep both of our momentum. So we was just doing a little bro hangout. Hanging out at Walmart, you got a chair, you say, hey, let me hit you in the back.
Let me hit you in the back, and then all of a sudden it just turned into a storyline.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I hit Booty Dust in the back. And next you know, Booty Dust hasn't been seen in the podcast for a few days.
TLC
few
was
episodes.
Coming up. TLC
and next you know,
TLC was coming right around the corner, and it just sparked up an idea. Hey, well, why the fuck don't we have a weird chairs match?
Booty Dust versus EnigMa in a chairs match, and that was the first ever Real Talk match, and that match has a special heart to me, and not to get too. I mean, I'm gonna be personal with it. Even though I don't think Sean didn't like it, me and Sean's cool. Even though Sean didn't like it, I love it because I got to experience something that I wanted to do as a little kid. And even though it wasn't like in the ring, we still got to do it. We did a storyline. We had everything planned. It was phenomenal. I asked Luigi how I did. He said I did fantastic. You did fantastic. And then it was great. People, my friend at work was like, "Oh wow, it was really good." So
it's glad that we mentioned over here. Now come over here.
The person who screwed me.
The person who screwed him over in the match with a shot. But
I'm glad. And one thing, if there's one thing that I don't like about Real Talk, well, I love Real Talk, but it's like one little nitpick is kind of the predictions, because you can lose a match or the belt via DQ or countout, which sucks. So in the Charlotte area, I'm kind of glad that we got us in it, so that way we can just do some of the matches.
I feel like we're now that you speak of that, and this is how you're gonna notice our chemistry together, even when it comes to like running the podcast. But why don't we just start doing it how it is in WWE?
Just have a match?
No. How about this? It's just like, let's say. I'm gonna just get to the point real quick. Let's just say you and me are having a feud going forward, right? We have a match. We have a match at our match at, let's say, Rumble, right?
Correct.
We tie. I beat you. It's for the ICP championship,
correct.
Right? I beat you, but one of the matches I won because it was a DQ.
We just do a DQ finish for the match.
A DQ finish, meaning I win the match, but you keep the championship.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
So we're going on forward right there, doing chemistry. There we go.
Right there.
Quick.
And like I said, me and Jimmy, I say me and Jimmy are probably like, I would say it because of Real Talk, but just me and him spending so much time together, we just know each other. We're like, he's like my best friend, he's my brother. So Jimmy, probably gonna be, it's a short, unique talk with Malique, but we got other interviews, so it's not gonna be short, but
one of three.
So we got one of them done. Jimmy, I thank you for being on Unique Talk with Malique, man.
Anytime, bro.
I love you, man. Love you, brother.
Let
me bring my bag. Some people don't forget who I am.
Oh hell yeah.
Co-champion. IC champion meets the Real Talk World Champion, IWGP champion, and half of the tag team champion.
Hey, let's get it.
Hey, just with me. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining each other, Malik. We'll see you on the next one.